Celtic win title 52. They're only 3 now behind Rangers, and the chase is back on. But it's no Bradley Walsh here, it's fog football. We're back. Celtic have been crowned champions after a 1-1 draw with Dundee United. Perhaps not the most spectacular way to wrap up the title, but it doesn't matter. They're 4 points in front of Rangers with 1 game to go. Ange Postecoglou's side will be crowned champions. They cannot be caught. And maybe more importantly, not only have they won back their Scottish Premiership, they have secured a spot in next year's Champions League group stages. But before we go and talk about any of that, there's one thing I want to point out, because I'm not having it, right? When Ange Postecoglou was first assigned as Celtic manager, when he was given the job, my brother made a video on this channel ripping the piss out of Ange Postecoglou because they hadn't heard of him. And you know what? Neither had I. And you know what? Most people hadn't. Yeah, I mean, people did fact checks and, you know, they went on Google and all this shit and they found out a bit about the guy. But I had personally never heard of Ange Postecoglou. And if most people are being honest, they'd never heard of Ange Postecoglou. So I went and made fun of his name. I thought it was poor. Celtic got a guy that we hadn't heard of rather than get a name, you know, a well-known name. They were after Eddie Howe. Obviously, that fell through. And yeah, looking at it, Ange Postecoglou looked like a downgrade on what they originally planned to get. But I watched some of the pre-season games. I watched the game against West Ham, and even though they got smashed in that game, attacking-wise, Celtic were playing really well, and they had an absolute shit squad at this time. You know, they were playing like the young players, reserve players. They had the likes of fucking Liam Scales and all this shit in their starting 11 during the pre-season at the start of the season. And I thought, you know what, this guy actually looks no bad. Fast forward, obviously Hearts, my team, beat Celtic opening game of the season. A good game. I mean, yeah, we're maybe a little bit fortunate to win. Doesn't matter. Kyogo Furuhashi come on, didn't make much of him. I gave it 2 more games, and after the 3rd game of the season, I'd seen enough. And I turned around on my channel, and I turned around and I says, Celtic will win the league. I guaranteed, I was adamant that Celtic would win the league. And you fast forward with 8 months, 9 months, whatever it is, and Celtic have won the league. Yeah, I'm getting people coming on this channel telling me to delete the previous vid and that I don't know what I'm talking about. I said after the 3rd game, Celtic would win the league, right? After 6 games, when this guy had already lost 3 matches, most Celtic fans wanted him out the door. Most Celtic fans were calling for his head. Now, that's fucking facts. He can deny it now. He can pretend to be walking in an Ange, you know, fucking Wonderland or whatever. But the fact of the matter is, guys, after 6 Premier League games, he'd lost 3, and most fans wanted him out, including Ryan118. He says if Ange loses again, he has to go. Most Celtic fans want him out. I said he would win the league. And I'm not bragging, but I did say he would win the league. And guess what? He fucking did win the league, because Son of Scotland 90 actually knows what he's talking about. But as for tonight, like I said, Celtic beat Dundee United. Didn't beat Dundee United. Drew with Dundee United. And, you know, it's a draw at Tannadice. I guess a point's more than enough for Celtic because it means they win the title, and it's probably a decent point for Dundee United, an unexpected point in their bid for the Europa Conference League spot. So I think both teams will be happy tonight, but Celtic would have probably preferred, obviously, to go out and win it in style. It didn't happen. Rangers beat Ross County by 4-1, but the damage was done before tonight. I mean, Rangers obviously losing a couple of Old Firm games, dropping points in a few matches where, I mean, they really shouldn't have. I think I'll always look back at the Motherwell game, Rangers at Ibrox, they were 2-0 up. That was an absolute disaster to, you know, drop 2 points for that position. The late goals they conceded against Ross County. I mean, there has been times where Rangers have bottled it. But overall, I don't think there can be any complaints. I think Celtic have been the best team this season. By a decent margin, I will say that. Even at the start of the season when Rangers were top of the league, yeah, as much as I thought Celtic did look good under Ange and I could see what he was going for, I also thought Rangers didn't look that great. Under Gerrard, a lot of the times they were winning games by the odd goal and they just weren't winning convincingly. And then Giovanni took over and things didn't really get much better. I mean, Giovanni results-wise got off to a very good start, but if you actually watch those games, I mean, they weren't convincing wins. They weren't putting teams away. They weren't blowing teams away. They were just getting over the line in those games. So I always thought, you know, Celtic's attacking power. Celtic are scoring goals. Rangers are struggling, really, to beat teams. You know, they're beating teams by the odd goal. I think Celtic will catch them. Plus, there has been this thing all season where people will, you know, criticise Celtic, say the defence is horrible. And you can argue that goals do mislead things. Now, just because a team has conceded the least amount of goals doesn't necessarily mean it's got the best defence. It could just be an overall better team, and that the defenders have to be put under pressure. You're not put under pressure as much as like other teams, you know what I mean? So, because they're dominating, they're controlling games more, that they're not under attack, therefore they're not having to defend as much, they're not facing as many shots, they're not facing as many, attacks against them in the final third. But, I mean, the Celtic defence can't be that bad because, like I said, it did concede the least amount of goals this season. If you look at goal difference, Celtic also have a huge margin over Rangers. It's something like 20 plus. Is it 20? It was 20 plus before tonight. I don't know if Rangers winning 4-1 has got it under 20. But I'm pretty sure when Giovanni Bronckhorst came in, Rangers were ahead of Celtic in the goal difference. So not only has Ange turned around a 6-point swing in the table, he's also turned around the goal difference swing, because like I said, Rangers were ahead. So I mean, Ange Postecoglou, I think the guy's great. I think he's good for Scottish football. I mean, he's quick-witty, he is entertaining, he is charismatic, he's got that kind of voice to him. It's weird, when Ange speaks, you listen. I personally don't feel that with Giovanni Bronckhorst, and I've got no horse in this race here. I mean, I couldn't care. Kind of wish it was the Grand National and both these horses got put down, to be honest. Well, maybe Rangers did get put down. That's a totally different story altogether. Banter, guys. Don't be coming to my door giving me death threats. Just some banter. But anyway, yeah. No, I mean, I think Celtic have been the better team this season. I think they deserve to be champions. They are champions. And it's just mad because obviously last season Rangers were dominant. Rangers won it easy. And most Rangers fans, before the ball was kicked this season, they didn't even contemplate Celtic winning the league. They thought 56 was wrapped up. But to be fair, I mean, everybody did. But I thought this was a good chance for Rangers to, build on last year and try and, win a few titles in their own. Maybe Rangers could go for the Terry Munro, but, Ange Postecoglou was having none of it. Thought maybe it would take Celtic a while to turn this around. It didn't. It took them one season, and they turned it around. They went from being miles behind in second place to winning the Scottish Premiership. So well-deserved. Big up Ange. Totally deserve it. It's no surprise Celtic dominated the team of the season, having 6 out of 11 players on that. Like I said, they've been the best team, you can't deny it, and they are worthy champions. Anyway, guys, that's it. Let us know what you think down below. I think it's sour grapes. If anyone says Rangers deserve to win this, I think you've got your blue tinted specs on. I mean, Celtic were the best team. Maybe next year things will change, but for now, they're the crowned champions of Scotland. They will be representing Scotland in the Champions League group stages, but we've still got some important action before then. Dundee have been relegated, unfortunately for them. I kind of wanted St Johnstone to go down, but Dundee's went down. But we've also got a Scottish Cup final to look forward to, and we've got a Europa League final with Rangers versus Frankfurt. So yeah, Scottish football. Celtic might have won the Scottish Premiership, but there's still a lot to be decided this season in Scottish football. So that's it, guys. Stay tuned for the channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below. Leave me your opinions. Do you think Celtic are worthy champions, or do you think they got lucky? Let us know down below. Catch you in the next one. But until then, peace.